right, so last time we talked, you had just graduated the U of H. You danced for a little bit, but that was in your past.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Why the move to Atlanta?
Well, I moved to Atlanta because I feel like my degree was in mass communications, and this is a great place for media relations, whether I'm in front of the camera, behind the camera. And I just feel like Atlanta is a great city for entrepreneurship as well. It's just a city that's vibrant and it's moving fast, as opposed to Houston, that's more of a working class city.
Now, what do you think about V Live is opening this weekend? What are your thoughts on the new V Live in
Well,
Atlanta?
I definitely, being that I was one of the first dancers to ever dance at the V Live in Houston before, we have had V Lives in Houston. It was the small building, the bigger small building, and then they moved to the nice building they have today. And to start the little building, I can't be happier to see where the brand has gone for the owners, for the DJs, and just for the girls as well, because it's something that we really work hard to build, to be in there every night, promoting to it to become today. I think V Live Atlanta is going to be huge because it's Atlanta. A lot of people have a lot of negative thoughts about it, sensing that this is the strip club capital and you have Magic City and Blue Flame clubs that are been here for 20 years that cannot be denied, you know. But at the same time, V Live, the people behind V Live have a special little team that they'll go out of their way and do whatever they have to do to make sure that it's the best around for sure.
Now
And then T.I. has ownership in it too, so it's like he's the king of the city.
Now, V Live originally was from Houston, right?
Yes.
And now I see them opening up branches of other satellite V Live locations in Dallas and Phoenix and New Orleans and several other cities, and now they've added Atlanta to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe they actually took over what used to be
DOA,
Diamonds of Atlanta.
Correct. Which I'm hearing a lot about the location. I've heard, it used to be Body Tap and it was DOA, and it's been a lot of crime happened there, and a lot of people feel like, it's a negative black hole location. Well, black hole might be the wrong word, but it's a dark cloud of the location. So, let's just see about that.
Now, I know you're not dancing anymore, but do you have anything to do with the new V Live?
Well, of course. I'm going to be bartending as well as waitressing at the new V Live, and we have really cute outfits. We're going to market our bartenders and our waitresses similar to how Starlets in New York markets their bartenders and waitresses. So the dancers will be the show, but the bartenders, not saying we're trying to outdo the dancers, but we are trying to have our own brand within the club as well, where people come to see us and where we're going to be promoting ourselves outside of the dancers.
Now, why? Okay, now you graduated U of H, which is a huge university, and you got a degree, which I know probably costs a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
But why even go back into even though you're not going to dance anymore, why even go back into that dancing atmosphere? And then why, why waitress and bartend there?
Well, at the end of the day, it's not the best job for me, but I just recently moved to Atlanta. And at the end of the day, you need money. You know what I mean? I need money. I am used to being a dancer, and I'm used to being a model, having a certain type of lifestyle, and I need money. And a 9-to-5 doesn't get you as money as fast as you can do with, of course, dancing is the ultimate way to get money, but bartending and waitressing can be very lucrative. And you had asked me, I don't know if you asked me on camera, but you had asked me about, like, why would I take a step down? Would the money be different? And really, the money is kind of the same, because when you're in a strip club environment, no, I'm not going to be there dancing. I'm not going to be there naked, but I'm also going to be, that's the difference. They look at a dancer like, she wants my money. I got to pick the finest, or I got to have the baddest dance for me. But when you're a waitress and a bartender, it's not so much pressure to be the finest or the baddest or the favorite. It's like you're serving them. And if you do good service, and especially looking at me, I'm a bad chick. So if me serving a man, sometimes it's a tip basis. A dude could give me $500. I know waitresses in Magic City and bartenders who told me they've walked out with $5,000 on a Monday night. It's very possible, because at the end of the day, it's about finesse and it's a hustle. If a man, we all women, you know what I mean? We might not be the one dancing, shaking our ass naked, but at the same time, we doing you a service, and it's how you talk to a guy. If a dude got money, you can get it out of him any type of way. And I feel like it's kind of like, I ain't gonna say it's my sneaky way, but I think I might end up making more money as a bartender or waitress, because it's like now they're gonna want to see how I look with my clothes off, because my clothes are on.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. We kind of did talk about it off camera, but yeah, respectfully asking you that question, the original question was, do you feel like that's a step down, being from the center of attention as a dancer to a waitress / bartender?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's your answer to it.
Yeah, I do think, I don't think it's really a step down. I just think it's a different aspect of the club. At the end of the day, once again, the strip club is all about women and it's all about dudes with money. I'm still a woman and it's still dudes with money. So if you, coming from the dancing world, being a finesser, knowing what dudes like, knowing how to talk to dudes, I feel like I can pretty much equal out the same amount of money, if not more, because when you a dancer, you got to split sections. Like, let's say a dude throws 5,000, you got to split 5,000. Or let's just say you're on stage, you got to be on stage with other girls. Or let's just say the girl that he's with doesn't like you because you're too fine and he don't want you to dance. As a waitress, you're not a threat to the women that the men are with. You're not a threat to none of the other girls. It's like on a care-to-care basis. So I feel like, you know, I'm going to be working 3 or 4 sections. I could get 500, 600. We're going to be getting 20% off every bottle. You know, in Atlanta, dudes like to pop bottles. So if a dude pops 10 bottles, I'm already going to get 20% of each bottle. I can get about $800 just in one section, and that's off top. Plus, if he tips me for my service, that's $200. If I do that with 3 sections, I've made almost $3,000 in one night. And sometimes, I honestly, as a dancer, it wasn't many nights that I made $3,000. It was not many nights I made $2,000, and I was a top dancer. So that just lets you can do the math right there.
Have you had a chance to meet T.I. yet?
No, I haven't met T.I., but I would love to. Well, I actually met T.I. before because I danced for him in All Stars and Dreams, him and Tiny, but of course he wouldn't remember me from that. But he did ask us to come over to dance, me and my other 2 friends. So, you know, I don't know if he would remember me, but I'm sure not. He meets a lot of females.
Yeah, the V Live in Atlanta made a little splash online with social media when they were doing the auditions. It looked like
I actually was there, and it was a hell of a show.
You were there?
It was so funny because, I mean, I guess when I started dancing, I just had it really easy. You know, I was a young girl. I went to strip club. I ended up got immediate fame. It was like, I wasn't even going for that. I just went to I was trying to just make $300-400. You know, I'm a young girl. But to see girls come into a casting, I would never do that. I swear to God. I would never go in front of, it was like 1,000 people there. And it was like each girl had to go one by one. It was like fucking American Idol. And it's funny because I feel like even the girls viewed it as American Idol. Like, it was like they felt like that was their big break to stardom or like their big opportunity. It was really amazing to see being from the V-Live brand, but on the stand of a dancer, it was a little embarrassing for the girls. It's like, girl, it is not that serious. You need to go just get hired at a club. For you to come to this, like, you must either want the attention that it's bringing or what, but this is ridiculous. Like, that's to be with your dance outfit on in front of 1,000 people. And one by one, they came up and fought for their life. Like, it was like American Idol of the dance world. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, if people don't know what I'm talking about, they can look it up. But it was a casting call for new dancers for V Live, and it almost looked like a job fair for strippers, as some people had dubbed it. The description.
I mean, it pretty much was because it was girls who was on this side who got chosen. It was girls who got turned down. That's what I'm saying. Of course, I know how I look and my body. I know I would have got chosen, but like, why would you even put yourself to that type of embarrassment? Like, it was some bold bitches. They was not cute at all. Like, you gonna come up. Like, I just feel like when you try out for something, you better be ready. And it's like, come on now. With me, I can be honest with myself. If I don't feel like I make the cut, I don't. But it was some bitches that, some confident young ladies who got turned around at the door. That's embarrassing. Gotta go back to your home city. Like, I went all the way out there for the casting. And how could you even tell somebody that? But you know how girls, they probably gonna lie and be like, oh, I ain't want to work there. It was too many bitches or some shit like that. But a lot of girls got turned down because they only want 150 girls for the grand opening because, I mean, between customers, the waiters and bartenders, you can't have more dancers than customers, so.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you about some of the statistics that you witnessed since you were there in person. So about 1,000 dancers showed up, and I didn't know they were actually turning down people or letting people
of course, that's why it's a casting call.
Oh, I didn't know that was happening there live. I thought maybe they would just see all the women and then kind of do it.
Well, it would be some girls that'll say stand on this side. You know, it was some girls who said stand on this side. I'm sure them the girls who got the welcome packet, and then it was some girls they said, I didn't tell them to stand on that side, and I'm sure those were the girls who didn't, you know.
I see. So out of 1,000 dancers, about 150 got chosen.
Which is, I mean, I bet those 150 felt pretty great about themselves.
Now, out of the 1,000 that you've seen, how many percentage would you say were actually probably Atlanta living residents, and then how much would you say were out-of-towners that just wanted to be a part of?
Well, with me not being in Atlanta long, I'm not sure how many of the girls were actually from Atlanta, but judging by the look of certain Atlanta girls, I think it was probably about 30% of Atlanta girls, and then the rest were out-of-town hopefuls. You know, at the end of the day, V-Live, that's one thing I do admire about V-Live. V-Live is different than any other strip club because they brand themselves. Like, they are big on social media, they're big on TMZ, they're big on Baller Alert. So you gotta think it's 50 states. There's girls all over really aspiring to work there because of the hype of the club. I mean, like I said, it's their big break for them because they're from small towns. They don't. The fact that even T.I. is hosted on Friday or T.I. is the owner is their pleasure to work for someone of that type of status. So it was really cool.